In the presentation layer, you want to right click the subject area, select new presentation table to open the presentation table dialog box, and we want to give the new presentation table that we're creating the name market regions. Then once that has been done, we'll go ahead and click OK to close the dialog box. Next, you want to return to the business model and mapping layer. Once you return to the business model and mapping layer, expand your market dimension table. Once that has been expanded and it exposes all the different columns, drag the following columns to your newly created market regions table. So we'll go ahead and start with district. Drop it there. Market description. Market key. Regions. Name. Region ID. Your columns may slightly be different depending on how you rename them in an earlier step. That is fine. And the next thing that we want to do is we want to reorder the different tables as they are exposed in the presentation layer. To reorder the presentation tables, we'll open the paint subject area by double clicking on it. Then we'll go to the presentation tables tab. Then we want to move the market regions table right before the markets table. So we'll select the market regions table and use the up arrow to move the table 2 spots up. You will notice that market regions table was previously at the bottom and has been moved 2 steps up. So this is where we want it to be placed. So after that has been done, you click OK to close the paint subject area. You now have 2 presentation tables, market and market regions, mapped to the same logical table. D3 market. The D3 market logical table is mapped to 2 physical sources, D3 market and D2 product. Save the repository and check global consistency when prompted. You should receive a message that there are no errors, warnings, or best practice violations. So we'll go ahead and click on the save icon, and yes, we want to check global consistency. Consistency check didn't find any errors, warnings, or best practice violations. This is what you want to see before you proceed, and we click OK. And this concludes the steps of adding logical table sources and presentation tables in the presentation layer. Next, we'll be loading the repository to the server. Return to Fusion Middleware Control, which should still be open. If not, open a new browser. In this case, you'll be shown how to save your shortcuts on your Firefox. So go ahead and open your Firefox and log in into Enterprise Manager. If your servers are not started, go ahead and start your Oracle BI servers, and it will take a moment before they all come up and log in to be able to proceed with the next steps of this lab. We will now go ahead and log into Fusion Middleware Control, Enterprise Manager, with the administrative user WebLogic and the password admin123. Click Login. If your session has timed out, you will need to log in again. Once you are logged in as an administrative user, it will take you to the home page where you'll be able to now load the repository which you just finished working on. In this example, we will go ahead and upload the Paint RPD within the next steps. In the left pane, expand Business Intelligence and click Core Application. Then click deployment tab, click repository. In this case it was the default tab, and notice that we already had deployed Paint BI 0029. When we have done with loading the repository in this step, you will notice that there is an incremental in the last 2 digits. And we'll go ahead and click lock and edit configuration. Then we'll click close when you receive this message. Then we'll go ahead and click on browse. We want the paint.rpd, so we'll select that, and then we'll type in the password for the RPD, which is admin 123. Again, the first letter is uppercase. And click apply, and you will notice that the default RPD has been incremented by a 1, which is getting us to BI 0030. Then we will click on activate changes. This will also take a moment. Activate changes completed successfully. So we'll click close. Then we'll click restart to apply recent changes. Once you get to the overview page, you will again click restart. When this message appears, yes, you want to restart OBIEE components, so you click yes. This also takes a few moments, so allow the process to complete, and when you receive restart all completed successfully, then we'll just close that dialog box and then proceed to create and run an analysis. For now, let's give our software a few moments to complete processing. Restart all completed successfully, then we'll close this dialog box. And every time you deploy the RPD, make sure that the system components are all at 100%. If you see any red here, it means that something went wrong. Most likely you entered an incorrect password for your RPD, and because of that reason, all components did not start up successfully. So you want to repeat the steps of deploying the RPD and making sure that you type in your password correctly. Next, let's create and run an analysis. So we'll open another tab, and then we'll click on analytics. This should open a business intelligence analytics window. Then we'll click WebLogic. That's the administrative view that we've been using throughout this lab. And we'll click sign in.